Folks, nothing makes me happier than seeing some Rome versus Carthage action in Total War Rome 2. I love seeing these two factions go at each other's throats because it's just a nice historical matchup, a blood match or a grudge match, if you will. So let's go check out the Carthaginian army first. They've got a couple of Carthaginian cavalry on either flank for 4 total, an African war elephant general, and a light Celtic horse, and then a huge line of Libyan peltist, which is an interesting pick. This is a heavy peltist, a lot of armor. Decent amount of ammunition, like kind of a standard amount of ammunition and damage. There's a line of mercenary Italian swordsmen in front of Libyan infantry, so Carthage is going to be heavily outmatched probably in the infantry department, but that depends on what Rome brings, and Rome has a very unorthodox build here. Look at this, Praetorian cavalry. Interesting, we don't see these guys very often. 3 units of Praetorians, it shows them as a very heavy melee cavalry, and they are. It shows a sword on their banner, but they're actually spear-armed. And they do have a bonus versus large. So there's going to be some tough cavalry for Rome. Interesting pick. There's a couple of Hastati on either flank, but the main infantry line is Gladiatrices. These are sword-armed gladiators who are going to be fighting, and they have, few numbers, not very good armor, but they are going to come in with some really brutal melee attack, just kind of mediocre on the charge. But they also, I believe, have a special, they have this killing spree, which helps them do extra weapon damage over a brief period of time. There are some spear gladiatrices in the back, so this is a gladiatress army, so Carthage finding themselves facing the fury of Rome's women. And then we got a legatus here for the leader. So Rome really can't skirmish in any appreciable way. There's war dogs back here, which could do a little bit of damage. Now, interesting to see here, Carthage has all this heavy line of peltist, and honestly, that heavy peltist line would be incredibly dangerous to all the gladiatrices and that Praetorian cavalry. So if Carthage is smart with those, I think they should be in a good place. And then the elephants, if they're patient here too, there's not a ton of javelins in this army. So I would rather see Carthage kind of keep those elephants back and safe. Honestly, I think if we see just relatively safe play from Carthage here, they have a fair chance of winning. But I don't want to discredit Rome's chances here either. This Praetorian cavalry is going to be tough. It's got a lot of armor. It's got good shields. So, I mean, it's going to be a tough unit. And again, the gladiatrices can cause a lot of damage, and Carthage's infantry is not spectacular. But I would like to see these Libyan peltists maybe do a bit of softening work on that main line prior to the engagement. Now, of course, they're going to have to be careful of all that Praetorian cavalry. There's 4 units of it. But if the Praetorians charge, they would take javelins from any supporting infantry or the Libyan peltists themselves. So let's just see what happens here on this initial engagement. It looks like Carthage may be spreading their troops out a little bit to meet the Roman line. Out here on the flanks, these Hastati have a potentially favorable matchup against those late Libyans. The late Libyans, definitely not terrible units. Those Vigiles are going to get hit by that light Celtic horse here. Do a little bit of damage to them. Interesting to see Carthage splitting all their cavalry out wide and kind of leaving the Praetorian cavalry to the middle. I'm thinking the Praetorians here are going to just YOLO. Yeah, they're just going to YOLO straight through the main line and plow the way for the Gladiatrices. This is definitely not what Carthage wanted here, because now all of their units are getting damaged, and it gives the Gladiatrices a free charge and an opportunity to come in with their frenzy and killing spree, and they are going to really rack up a tremendous number of kills. Carthage was too bunched together here initially. There is a Numidian cavalry here to keep a threat on those elephants. Carthage needs to get a unit back there to threaten those Numidian cavalry. Their cavalry got caught on the hoof over here on the flank, so Carthage is getting caught on the hoof everywhere. Battle's certainly not over, though. Here comes the elephants. Let's see what they do. Remember, Praetorian cavalry have a bonus versus the elephants. The elephants are already taking a lot of javelin fire from that Numidian cavalry. That unit needed to be dealt with, but the main line for Carthage just absolutely collapsing here in the middle. The elephants are already starting to fall apart. The Gladiatrices came in with a rapid advance, frenzied charge, killing spree. They're going to really hurt the elephants there too, because they didn't get countered. So I feel like Carthage got way too bunched up early in this engagement. But let's see what happens. The engagement's not over yet. And it still shows Carthage in a fair place on the balance of power. We'll see. But Rome just really committing that Praetorian cavalry right up the gut. It's an interesting call. Libyan peltists have a lot of armor. They'll last a little while in a melee fight. The Carthaginian general is now rampaging. We're going to see the loyalty here come down for the Romans, which is going to make all their units have higher defense and be temporarily unbreakable. It's an interesting time to use it with those elephants berserking through there. It may save them some kind of early panic routes here. I don't know what to make of this battle. This is crazy. This didn't go down anything like I thought it might, so I'm kind of confused. Those elephants still rampaging here. There's a decent number of them left, and they're not rampaging anymore. They're getting a lot of kills. 131 kills. That's bad news for Rome, because those elephants cause fear, and it could cause a break in the Roman line as soon as that loyalty wears off. I don't know how long it lasts, but that is a good call for Rome having that active right now with these elephants in here. That could be really bad otherwise, so loyalty may be holding the Roman line together at the moment. The power bar is creeping back towards Rome. Let's see, Carthaginian cavalry. The loyalty has now worn off, so let's see how the Roman infantry handles that. They should be winning the fight in some regard. The Carthaginian units here are low on leadership as well. 186 kills for the elephants. They are kind of just going ham now. That's climbing quickly. We've got some Roman units wavering here. The armor of these peltists is going to come in handy here against the Vigiles and the War Dog handlers. This elephant unit is now over 200 kills, and it's really taken a toll on Roman leadership over on that flank. Looks like these mercenary noble fighters, I probably called them Libyans earlier, really put up a heck of a fight here. 230 kills. They are being worn down. They've got some support here with a little bit of Carthaginian cavalry, but they are wearing out. Libyan infantry kind of hanging on to dear life there. The elephant general's still alive after all that. That's fairly astounding. They really probably want to go ahead and curb stomp these Hastati and other units here and try and free up some of these Carthaginian infantry. This is going to be a pretty close fight when all's said and done. They finally got rid of the noble fighter over here, Rome did. Some spear gladiatrices coming back through. Those units could be important to gladiatrices and the Praetorian cavalry. They do have a bonus versus large. The elephant's still at 10 entities, 308 kills. Elephants are very dangerous when they make it late into a game and you don't have the right tools to counter them. However, those elephants also will have taken a significant amount of health damage at this point. They also take a toll on enemy leadership. They have a scare effect. You can see, though, they're not really killing off those Praetorian cavalry very easy. What a wild battle. Not what I expected when I clicked on a Carthage versus Rome battle. But I'll take it. I'll take it any day of the week. Yeah, these Libyan peltists are holding out really remarkably in that melee, and then they're going to potentially defeat this group. There's some Gladiatrices coming in there, though. There'll be a dangerous unit. There's some more Gladiatrices that came back from routing. Hastati as well. The Spear Gladiatrices did get all of their abilities back, and that was bad timing by the elephants to end up in this engagement because the Gladiatrices are all hyped up on crazy here, and they are going to finish the elephants, and that may spell the end here for my beloved Carthage. Those elephants were really critical. They did a really good job overall, though, despite getting hit early by that Numidian cavalry, so 324 kills, but it looks like their general's going to go with it, and that's going to be the end for the dear sons of Carthage here. So the insane Roman army here of gladiatrices and Praetorian cavalry, quite the combination, I must say. I guess the Praetorians were either looking to impress the gladiatrices, or maybe they all got together, you know, new relationships or something, and decided to go to battle together. Whatever the case being, it was an interesting one. Again, not what I would have expected, but it's a battle that'll take. So between Uncle John and Hotel Soap there, great fight. It's interesting here. If Carthage had their cavalry there to help stop some of those Praetorian charges and maybe not take that entire middle charge on the chin and then leave those Libyan peltists behind the lines to clean up the rest of that Praetorian cavalry, could have been good, but I think Carthage is a little too bunched together. When Rome made that charge with the Praetorian cavalry, it was really quite beautiful. They busted through the initial line and basically engaged all of the Carthaginian units, making them less effective and then allowing the gladiatrices to get into combat a little bit cleaner. So a fun one indeed, but those elephants pulled out way more kills than I thought they were going to initially. So a nice performance by the African War Elephant General. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. Hope you all enjoyed this one. I'll see you soon with more in Total War Rome 2.